everyone, I hope y'all are having a great day, and today I'll be reviewing Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This book has garnered so much hype and praise from bloggers that I could not help but pick it up, and I'm very glad I did. I don't obsessively love it or anything, but it was such a cute and fun read that I can't help but recommend it to everyone. Also, the main character Simon is gay, so if you're looking for diversity in YA, which I hope you are, this book is a fantastic choice. I don't think I've read that many LGBTQ YA books. That was a lot of letters. The immediate one that comes to mind is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And although Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda can't really compete with Aristotle and Dante, it completely holds its own and it's a fabulous read. So for those who don't know, Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda is about a boy named Simon who is still in the closet. The only person that knows he's gay is an email pen pal that he has, and this pen pal is actually another secretly gay boy who goes to the same school as Simon. So they might know each other, but they keep things anonymous so that things don't get weird, and so they have no idea who the other person is. Then one day, this guy named Martin, however you want to say it, confronts Simon and is like, yo, dude, so you kind of left your email open in the library and I kind of read all your emails with your pen pal, and so I kind of know that you're gay, and I might have taken some screenshots of your emails. So, if you don't help me win the heart of one of your girlfriends, who knows where these screenshots will end up? And yeah, that blackmail sounds really dark and really frustrating and probably illegal. I know. But surprisingly, this book is mostly like fun and fluffy, and the relationship between Simon and his pen pal is super sweet, super cute. I feel like I've already said this a bunch of times, but this book is super, super cute. The emails between Simon and his pen pal were just so adorable. It was so fun reading them because they got progressively flirtier and bolder. As the book went along, some emails kind of had like my eyes bulging because dang, these boys are so daring with their words. I will admit that I knew who the pen pal was. I think a lot of readers knew who the pen pal was, but that's okay. I didn't really mind the predictability because I really liked who the boy ended up being. I think Simon, our main character, is a very well-developed character, but I feel like all the other cast members were kind of flat. They were described, and I'd be able to list their characteristics, but they didn't like jump off the page. Every character is distinct, so you're never in danger of mixing up characters because Becky Albertalli sketches each character very differently. I think sometimes the writing felt a little bit aimless. At times it felt like the plot wasn't going anywhere. It definitely got better as the book went along, but it wouldn't be uncommon to read a scene and the scene wouldn't really contribute to the overall direction of the plot. It's because this book felt like a journal or a diary. Reading this was like reading real life, and in real life, not every single moment of your day leads up to or accumulates into something bigger that comes later in your life. So sometimes it felt like a documentation of just trivial things, but at other times the plot kicked in and things were really fun. One thing that I really appreciated was the depiction of high school. Very rarely do I read a book that's set in high school and think, wow, this high school feels really realistic. I've been thinking about it, and rarely do authors ever get high school right. But Becky Albertalli did it. I mean, not completely, but she came pretty close. I think she created one of the most genuine depictions of high school that I've read. Or at least a depiction of high school that's consistent with my personal perspective of high school. I want y'all to think about the last time you read a YA book that had a really realistic high school setting, and let me know what it is because I am struggling to think of any. Overall, I thought this book was so cute, so fun, and a wonderful addition to the unfortunately limited section of YA that's devoted to LGBTQ characters. Becky Albertalli also manages to incorporate a small discussion on diversity and equality, which was very much appreciated. Through one or two of her characters, she talks about how there shouldn't be a default on a human, like there shouldn't be a default race or a default sexuality. There are lots of great lines about sexuality and masculinity and just about being yourself in this book. I think I would recommend this book to everyone. I think everyone definitely has the capability of reading this book and enjoying it. One of the most highlighting features, I don't know if that makes sense, is how genuine this book feels. It never feels like Becky Albertalli is trying too hard. It just feels like a natural, unpretentious story about a teenage boy who's struggling with real teenage problems. Sometimes Martin's character did feel like a bit too much. He felt too over the top and too dramatic, But overall, I thought the novel was very down-to-earth and honest, and I loved that. I'm going to go into a very short spoiler section, so if you haven't read Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, then read it. I recommend it. You can read it and then come back because spoiler section starts in 3, 2, 1 now. The second there was that interaction between Bram and Simon in English class and Simon accidentally got Bram's English paper, I knew Blue was going to be Bram. Although the writing did feel aimless at times, that scene felt way too important to just be something irrelevant thrown in there. It was the way Bram blushed and got all shy when Simon was talking to him, and it was basically like a neon flag that was screaming, "I'm Blue, it's me, I have a huge crush on you, Simon." The only time I was thrown off on my theory was when they confirmed that Blue shared a first name with a US president. Right when I read that, I immediately thought Martin Van Buren. Oh my god, Martin. It can't be Martin. How can it be Martin? No, it doesn't make sense. Luckily, it wasn't Martin, because that would have made no sense. The more I thought about it, the more I figured it was Bram, and that Bram probably stood for like Abraham or something, which turns out it does. So in that aspect of the book and the mystery of like figuring out who Blue is, I thought it was predictable, but I didn't really mind. I think I would have been more upset had I not figured out who Blue was than if I had, if that makes sense. I thought Simon and Blue's emails were so freaking cute. As I mentioned before, sometimes they got like super flirty, and it just left me shocked, really, at how brave these boys were for putting down their feelings like that. Sometimes they got a little saucy, but it was still so cute, and I loved it. I really, really liked Leah because I could really relate to her. She feels like all of her friends are always choosing other friends over her, which is something that I think everyone can relate to. At least I can definitely relate to that. And she gets offended when she learns that Simon came out to Abby before he came out to her, which if it were me, I would be offended too. Like, I've known you longer, why don't you trust me? So yeah, I really liked Leah's character. I thought she was really relatable. And I think that's all I have to say. Again, overall, very, very cute book. It's so cute, I could barely handle it. Let me know what you thought of Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Could you relate to it? I would love to know. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and happy reading. Goodbye!